The U.S. helps create the conditions that force people to leave their homes, then profits from their vulnerability when they arrive. Here's how that cycle usually works, step by step. 1. How the U.S. messes up other countries. A. Economic domination, trade, and debt. Free trade agreements like NAFTA, USMCA flood poor countries with cheap U.S. goods. Local farmers and small businesses can't compete. Livelihoods collapse. Example, Mexican corn farmers were wiped out by subsidized U.S. agribusiness. IMF and World Bank loans heavily influenced by the U.S. Come with structural adjustment rules, cut social services, privatize water, healthcare, electricity. Result, unemployment, higher prices, social breakdown. People don't migrate for fun. They migrate because survival at home becomes impossible. B. Political interference and coups. The U.S. has a long history of overthrowing governments that threaten U.S. corporate or strategic interests, supporting dictators who protect U.S. investments. Examples, Guatemala, 1954. Democratically elected government overthrown to protected United Fruit Company. Chile, 1973. U.S. backed Pinochet after socialist reforms. Central America, 1980s. U.S. funded death squads in El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras. These interventions create violence, corruption, and instability, which drive mass migration decades later. C. Militarization and drug war. The U.S. fuels demand for drugs while exporting weapons south. War on drugs policies militarize police and empower cartels. Countries like Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala become unlivable due to the violence. People flee gangs and chaos that are directly tied to U.S. policy. D. Climate exploitation. U.S. corporations extract oil, minerals, timber, and agriculture profit. Climate change, which the U.S. disproportionately caused historically, destroys crops and water supplies. Central America's dry corridor is a major migrant source because farming no longer works. Climate refugees exist. The system just refuses to name them. 2. Why migrants are exploited once they arrive in the U.S. This is not accidental. It is by design. A. Legality, precarity, control. Undocumented or temporary status workers can't complain about abuse, can't unionize safely, can't report wage theft. Employers use deportation as a threat. Fear places chains. B. Industries built on migrant labor. Entire sectors depend on rightless workers. Agriculture, meatpacking, construction, hospitality, domestic and care work. These jobs are dangerous, underpaid, essential. Yet politicians call the workers illegal while the economy collapses without them. C. Immigration enforcement as a labor tool. ICE raids don't target corporations, they target workers. Employers almost never face consequences. Deportations keep wages low by maintaining a disposable workforce. Border enforcement protects profits, not people. 3. The deeper truth, a two-tier labor system. The U.S. benefits twice, extracts wealth from other countries, imports desperate labor stripped of rights. It's modern imperialism without formal colonies, no responsibility, maximum profit, minimal accountability. 4. Why this is rarely admitted. Calling migrants criminals hides the role of U.S. policy. Media focuses on border, not the causes. Both major political parties benefit from cheap labor and donor money. Bottom line, people don't invade the U.S., they are displaced by systems the U.S. helped create, then exploited because their survival depends on silence.